Hello and welcome to the Micklin Law Group's Tip of the Week, uh, my how-to series on getting divorced without an attorney. For those that may not have seen my other videos, I'm the managing member of the Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in men's and fathers' rights in divorce, custody, and family law issues. We have offices in Nutley, Montclair, New Jersey. So this how-to series is a little ironic because I am an attorney, but I've learned from many years of experience that not everybody can afford an attorney, and not everybody can afford our firm. Quite to be honest, we are sometimes on the expensive side, but you get what you pay for, but not everybody needs that. So there are people who do need help. I figured I'd do a quick series on how to do that without actually having to pay for it. So there's going to be 4 or 5 what to do's and 4 or 5 what not to do's. So let me just jump real quickly into it. First one is to understand the purpose of this is not to tell you that you don't need a lawyer. So you do need a lawyer if you can. Now, the first thing is do get a lawyer, or at least meet with one. So the first thing is to know I'm not recommending that you don't get a lawyer. So the number one tip is get one if you can. If you can't, the second is to meet with several. There will usually be free consultations. In my experience, those who charge for the consultation probably will give you better advice and more time. I do personally charge for my consultations. The reason I do that is simply to weed out people who aren't interested in investing in getting the proper advice. And I think you want to get with the best people, so you're probably going to have to pay a little bit. Take many consultations. Don't just go with one lawyer. You do want to speak to many different lawyers, and you do want to speak to them throughout your case. Don't just go before the divorce starts. Go at any major step, anytime you have a court appearance coming up. You can even get consultations with people on the specific event that's approaching, the specific hearing or the specific issue that's approaching. You can get an attorney to consult with you on that limited issue. Ask many questions. Do prepare the questions in advance so that when you do have a consultation, you're well prepared for what you want to ask about, and take notes. I don't think most of the people I meet with actually take notes about what I'm saying. I take notes on what I'm telling them, but they don't. If you're going to take this advice and have consultations for the purpose of not hiring a lawyer, then you definitely want to have your questions written down beforehand and the answers to them afterwards so that you can go back over and review them. But also you can speak to other lawyers in the future about those same issues and same answers when you do meet with other lawyers. Last is to investigate what other options you have. It's not simply a question of either you have a lawyer or you don't have a lawyer. The change in technology, the change in social media, and even the change in the laws have opened up a lot of options that people may not be aware of. First of all, there's something called unbundled services that some law firms are offering, and you may even be able to ask those that aren't offering it if they can. And that is a sort of limited fee service, or limited fee for service, meaning you can hire a lawyer or a law firm for specific purposes. In a divorce, you might want them to help you with document preparation. You might want to help with document exchange so that you can understand what you're supposed to receive and what you're supposed to get. You may even want to hire them just for analysis of financial issues. But whatever it is, they do have firms that offer this kind of services, and you should be looking into firms that do. Second is there might be firms that offer consultation service, which means you can hire them and pay them, but they don't have to go to court. I've offered this in the past. I still do offer it sometimes, but I'm not a big fan of it because you lose control of the ability to actually help the client perform whatever it is you're telling them. But it's a limited type of service where they can come in whenever they need to, for however long that they need to, and get answers to questions, get documents reviewed, even have things prepared that may be under their signatures. It's much better than unbundled because you're getting whatever you need, but it can become quite costly depending on how much of it you do need to use. Second is look into, there are certain franchises like the Divorce Center that will do limited document preparation for a limited fee. I think they do what's considered an uncontested divorce, so you can go to them for something like that if you don't believe there's any contested issues. And lastly, there are things like LegalZoom and online document preparation that you can pay a small fee and have certain documents themselves prepared. You want to investigate all these options if you're going to consider going through a divorce without anybody's assistance. Now, the things that you don't want to do. First of all, you don't want to go to the internet for research. There's far, far too many resources available. And I know that's ironic too, because I'm putting this on the internet and I have a ton of resources both on my YouTube page and my website. But I still don't recommend you go blanketly into the internet and run word searches. You can find the answer to any question you want by typing the wrong answer in, getting the wrong, or typing the wrong question and getting the wrong answer. So the first thing is, do not do that. Do not trust the internet's going to give you the right information. Second is, don't talk to your friends. As much as they may be helpful, and much as you might think they've gone through similar circumstances, they probably haven't. And you're more often going to get the horror stories that you hear, the aberrations. I always use the McDonald's lawsuit from 20-something years ago where somebody spilled coffee and got $3 million, and everybody hears about it all the time. But that's because it's an aberration. It's not how personal injury lawsuits work, and that's why you hear about it, because it is an aberration. So if you're going to go to friends and family about a divorce, you're usually going to get the aberration, you're going to get the horror story, and it's not going to help you. Next thing not to do is don't sign anything before you read it thoroughly and before you understand it. A lot of people think it's going to be easier. They'll just sign the agreement, they'll get out of it, they'll save legal fees, they'll get on with their lives. And more often than not, they're signing something that's drastically contrary to their interests, can't be changed in the future, and is very detrimental to their finances and their lives. Last, don't think not having a lawyer will help you in any way. Don't expect to get sympathy when you go into court. Don't expect it to be easier to vacate bad decisions or judgments that are entered. The court will not care that you did this on your own. That's the choice that you made, and they will presume that you understood and knew the law when you went into the case. So the last tip to understanding what not to do is, don't expect it to be any different that you're handling it yourself than if you had a lawyer. The law will be the same, the procedure will be the same, and the decisions will be the same, if not worse. But I do hope this helps you. If you are going to litigate without an attorney, I certainly hope this helps. I know I said a moment ago, don't go to the internet for research, but I do have a website, McMillanLawGroup.com, with a lot of resources, as well as my YouTube page. If you do want a consultation and take up my advice about getting many of them, call me at 973-562-0100. Thank you.